Peace is leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And sleep till I come home, dream of something sweet. I will be there soon.
Hey, hi, good evening everyone. Hey, hello Ashwin, hello Piyush, Naveen. Hi, good evening. Just let me know if my audio is clear to you guys. Sorry for the delay, there's some issue with my OBS. My laptop is also working slow today, don't know why. Right? Hi guys, hi. I hope it is now like you guys can see me and also hear me very clearly. Just give me a quick confirmation if my audio and video all are clear. Right? Great, amazing. So let's quickly just start off with today's session, right? So everyone, like, okay, just give me a minute, okay? I just need to close a few apps, some work apps. Right, now it should be fine. Right, so everyone did revise, right? What did we do yesterday? The basics of HTML, the, heading tags, paragraph tags, and how to add image, right? That was, I guess, all we saw yesterday, right? Let us quickly start off VS Code and see where we stopped yesterday. Let's quickly review what we did yesterday, and then let's start off with, you can say, today's lecture. That is basically today we are styling tags, tables, forms, videos, maps, and YouTube. We very quickly, this last three things you are going to learn very quickly. Let me also just, I guess, position my video is Let me just put it in corner so that it doesn't also disturb you, right? So shall we start guys? Everyone is here? Great. Okay, I'm just looking to your chats right here. Okay, so in case I'm looking here, your chats are here. Okay, so let's quickly start off. Let me just get my brightness screen up. Okay, great. So let's quickly start where we stopped. So we saw the basically all the styling tag lists, ordered list, unordered list, hyperlink, and normal headings, right? Today we have the first topic, that is styling. And before we go ahead, right, there was one thing which I missed out yesterday. I could not get time. Image tag, right? Image tag has two required, that is, you can say the best practice to follow, that is using a alt tag. Okay, that is called an alt or alt tag. That basically gives, you can say, tells the crawlers what this image is. Like in case due to some XYZ reason, right, you are not able to render your image, alt tag tells that what this image was, right? So if I'm telling Jaguar car, so it can be anything. Okay, so it basically should define your image. Now let's see how it works. Okay, so by default, where was our, yesterday we stopped here, right? So this is, I guess, our live server should be still on, probably it won't. So let's quickly start our live server. We saw how live server works, right? So let's quickly divide our pages into two parts. There is some extra tag here. Let me, what did I delete? Okay, right? So you can see, right, by default you're not able to see any changes right here. Let's try like making some mistake in the image. Okay, let's try making some mistake in the image. So suppose instead of JPG I am not writing the correct extension and I write just JP. So you can see right here, okay, you can see right here that there is an error shown where basically the image is not there, a broken image icon is there, and along with that it is telling me that what was in this image. Okay, it was a Jaguar car image is what we had written in this alt tag. And this is again a good coding practice to write the alt tag. Why? Because this, when you can say when you go to Google Images, right, the Google does not know how to see and recognize the image. They basically scan through the alt tags which are given by the developers, right, specifying what this image stands for, and that's how it sources the image and shows you on the Google Images, right? So that is one of the ways it does. So the better definition, the better description you write in the alt tag, the more probability is, like, you can say, the best practice to write the image tag. And also, yeah, the screen readers also are using this. So alternative tags are used by screen readers also for people who do not have vision, who cannot see, right? When they use the screen reading apps, it basically reads this instead of image, right? So let's quickly go down and just start off with the styling tags. So here we have styling tags. When I say styling tag, right, it is basically your bold, italicize, and underline, delete, insert. So we are just quickly going to see. Let me first write down and then I'll explain you. Okay, let me first write down and then I'll explain you. So first we have something called as a B tag, which basically means a bold text. You can see how it works. It is basically nothing but a bold text. Let me just get it on some another line. Okay, let me just, okay, this is a bold text. Now similarly we have something called as italicize. Okay, this is an italic text. I'm just writing it right like this. Okay, then we have something called as, let's say this. So can you guys see these three things? Can you guys see these three things? We have basically seen bold, italicize, and underline. Very easy. I'm just stopping for a quick break. If you guys have understood what it does, it makes the text bold, it makes the text italic, and makes the text underlined. Is this clear? These three things: bold, italic, and underline. Right? Let's quickly go forward and see what are the other things. Right? So let me just code a few things and I'll explain you it. Right? So we have something called a strong, which is okay. So you can see this is a strong text, and then again similarly I have something called as emphasize. Okay, so if you see right, there is no visible difference in between bold and strong. Okay, understand and hear this very clearly. There is no visible difference between a bold text and a strong text. The difference comes is when this, you can say, the browser interprets, right? Strong tells that this particular text mark in strong is of greater importance. Okay, what does strong tell? It tells that this text which is mentioned in this strong tag is of greater importance. Similarly, emphasized text again tells that this text which is emphasized is of greater importance along with the italicized, right? So these three things, right, just give a visual effect, right? They do not give an additional emphasis, or you can say additional importance to that text, but a visual, you can say, representation of bold, italicized, and underline. Whereas the strong and emphasized, they give a greater importance to that piece of text. Is this clear? The difference between B and strong, or I and U. Are we clear till this, guys? Are we clear till this? Okay, I'm looking to your chats. Right? Okay, great. So with this, right, there are a few more things which I wanted to show you. Like, let's just quickly see. That is something called as delete text. This is something extra. You do not need to know this. So it basically gives a strike through effect. Okay. So these are, you can just Google out. There are a lot of ways to you can say use, but it is of like, you will not use this much. You're going to do all the things with CSS later, right? This is one way how you can do this, and there's n number of tags, right? Now let's see one more thing which I guess I missed yesterday in terms of paragraph, right? That is, you see that if I want to write multiple lines, right? If I want to write something right like this, so let's suppose I want to write something like suppose I want to write something like, my name is Prasad, and in second line I want to write, I am learning web development. Okay, now if you see, and suppose I like JS. Okay, now suppose I have written this text like this, but what you will see here, right, how is it printed, right? If you see that it is printed in a single line, I want it to be printed the way I am writing it. Okay, I want it to be printed the way I am writing it, not just in a single line of paragraph. Nor it is like, if I have to write it again, what I have to do is I have to break it into multiple paragraphs. So instead of that, what you can do is, instead of p tag, you can use pre tag, PRE. That stands for pre-formatted text. And what it does is, the way you have written the text in that particular block, it, you can say, replicates the same way on the browser. Let's try and see how it works. So if you see, I've written this pre tag here, and I'm using pre tag here to close. If you see, right, all the indentations and everything works the way I'm writing on the browser, the code, right? You can see the results out there, right? The pre tag is basically pre-formatted text. It basically replicates the way you have written the code in the, you can say, the editor, and puts it the same way on the browser. Clear? Clear, guys? Pre tag. Just give me a confirmation if this is clear. Right? Harsh, I would love to use Hindi, but there are some people who might not, right? So I'm just sticking to English. If you are not understanding, let me know some of the queries and I can answer you, you can say, in Hindi, right? Why font change? See, it is using the same font. It is basically the base font it is using, right? It is the same way you are writing here. It will let's try and put something. If okay, I'm not able to change font. Let's see if this works. Probably it shouldn't affect. It is going to take the base font. Good question. I never tried this. Okay, so let me just see how it works. Nope, it by default formats the way in a code basically a consoleless, like the monospace. It is consoleless. Yes, it is consoleless. It is basically taking the consoleless font. It does not matter on the, you can say, editor. But good question. I myself never tried this. Thank you for that. It is basically going to take the code format, right? How code is represented on web, and it's going to show that. How to get heading in center, will come to that. If we write /p, same, the spaces will be cut. Can you just tell me like what you are telling? Like you can just rephrase what you are trying to say. So next up, see there are pre-tags. Okay, it basically tells pre-formatted text. So I need to, you can just Google it why it is doing, but it is pre-formatted. So it basically just puts it that way in the base format, whatever it is. Not pretty sure. See, to be honest, I did not go in that deep of why pre-tag does it, because we rarely use that tag. But that is something I'll actually go and see right now. Okay, after this class. Good. Thank you for that. If we want to style pre-tag, you can just use CSS. We'll try to do that. Okay, just remind me why doing CSS. We'll try and use CSS on the pre-tag as well. So next up we have tables. So till here, are you guys with me? See, these are basic formatting tags. Half of these things you will not require when you are going to code. Okay, we are just going to work with CSS and div tags a lot, and here and there few times this will be used. So till here, are we clear? Right? See, how to get heading in center, we are going to see in HTML. Okay, do not see one way it was, right? Put it in center, align center, but that is pre-deprecated. So I'm not going to even teach you how to put align center using HTML. So we are going to see it with CSS. Stay till tomorrow. We are going to have CSS. See, NBSP can give you spacing, but how many times will you put NBSP? If I have to get between, you can say in the center, how many times you're going to put NBSP? What is the difference between P and span? P basically creates a new paragraph. It gives the starting indentation. Span is nothing but a text. You can see a tag which does not have by default any importance or any meaning unless you put some class, ID or some extra features to it. Right? So let's quickly jump into tables. So I guess tables, you guys know what it is. So I'm just going to put let's start dividing our classes into, you know, sections. So I've just put it, I've just made a HR, and in that I'm going to create a H4 stating tables. Okay, so now let's create few table, right? Now understand, now let's guys focus. I'll take Ashwin, I have explained what is strong and EM. You can just go back and see it, right? You can just go back and see it. Let's everyone focus on tables. Whatever your queries are, right, towards the end of the session, please take, I'll answer those. Now let's move ahead, right? So we have a lot of things to cover. I'll answer all the queries, but towards the end. Okay, now let's understand what table is. Table is basically a representation of data in, you can say, rows and columns. Okay, representation of data in rows and columns. So how do we write a table? Okay, basically, if you know, right, if you have used Excel sheets, it is basically a rows and columns. So how do we create tables in HTML? Okay, so to create a table, the basic tag which you need is a table tag. Okay, so we have a opening table tag and we have a closing table tag. Just follow along, guys. Just follow along. Leave the chats for a minute. Just follow along, and whatever I'm seeing your queries. Okay, just follow along. You will understand. Please try to follow along. First tag we need is the table tag. Okay, so now in this table tag, there are two things, right? There is rows, there is columns. So when you write in HTML, right, everything is a table row. Okay, everything is a table row. For that, what the tag which we have is a tr tag. I see everything. Guys, please leave the chat for a minute. Okay, come into the, you can say, study mode right now, right? So every table will have rows. Okay, in HTML we write rows. So by default, let's create a row, and that is the row. Now, how do we insert data? So every row, right? Understand that we are going horizontal into table. Okay, so if I have to tell you, so let me just explain to you how it works. So see, by default, when you create a table, right, it basically creates this whole, you can say, a table. Now, when we are creating a table row, it is going to create one table row like this. Okay, sorry for this. I'll just try to be, yeah, it basically creates one table row like this. Now, whatever entry you do, right, whatever you can say elements, that is table data you will put, it will basically align them in horizontal way. Like the first table data will be here, the second table data will be here, the third table data will be here, the fourth table data will be here, and so on. If you want to write something below that, you will have to enter another table row and do on, so on. So all the time, every time you have to create a new row, you have to use that tr tag. So first is the table tag. In that there is table row, which is basically tr tag, and below that there is something called as td tag, that is table data. So table, table row, table data. That's the structure. Are we clear with the structure? Table, table row, table data. Are we clear? Are we clear till the structure, guys? So I can actually show you the code part. Right? Okay, so let's create our first table. So it will be, my first column would be serial number. Okay, my bad. Okay, I did not write td. So table data would be, first would be serial number, right? If you see, right, it is printed right here. Similarly, I want name, and I want age, and I want city. So this is basically, you can see, if you see, right, it is now printed in, you can say, one by one, but that is the basic by default, because we have not given any of, you can say, formatting to this. So right, everyone is following. That's great, thank you. Right, so now let's go and add few more datas, right? So just, I'm going to add values. I'm just going to copy this to create another row. So I'm just making some data so you guys can just see there is nothing new in this. So Prasad, age 26, city Mumbai, okay. So this would be 2, 3, sorry, Sandesh is 23. This can be Pune, and 3, this can be Vinay, this can be again 20, let's say 25, and this can be Varanasi. Right, now let's go and see how our table is looking. Okay, let's go and see how our table is looking right now. Okay, so td means table data. Okay, let me just write it for you here. Okay, don't confuse, guys, don't confuse. See, tr basically means table row. Okay, and td means table data. Yeah, while you put, it is like column wise, but the way it is told is table data, data in table row. Yes, right. So this is how our, you can say, you can see, right, this is how our table is printed. So are you able to understand till here? So we have created our table, which you can see here. So is this clear? Is this clear, guys? everyone in this chat? Right now, see, now the thing is, this table looks alike, right? I'm not able to segregate my headings, right? This particular row, the first row is my heading row, right? So I want to make sure that this is not a table data, but that is a table heading. So what I'll do is, instead of, you can say, okay, my stream stopped, I guess, yes. So instead of table data, right, I will convert into a table heading. So here we have learned one more thing, that is table heading. So instead of table data here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make it a table heading. So what does it do is, it basically makes it more bolder and it centers the, you can say, text between those tags, right? So this is, so if you can see, right, now I am able to segregate between my normal rows and the heading. So what does it do is, makes the text bold and centered, okay, in whatever you can say the limit is. So is this clear? Is this clear? Why extra space is there between name and age? See, it is a table, right? It is a table, so it has a format, right? Is it clear, everyone? Right, great. Right, so now see, now I am not able to, you can say, make out that where is the border. So let's say this is the bad way to put border, but I'm just going to show you. Okay, so this is how the border looks. This is, see, it is showing in red, so this is the wrong way to use border, but just for you to understand, I am showing you this particular way, that this is how the border looks in the table. Okay, so we are going to put borders using CSS again. This is just to show you like how the table is looking right now. So is this clear? Okay, is this clear, guys? Right, so now let's do one thing. What I want to do is, I want to suppose like you all guys have used the merge function in Excel, or you want to see, okay, let's change the data a little bit. Suppose me and Sandesh both stay in Mumbai, right? Now I don't want to print it 2 times, I want to merge the cells. Okay, I want to merge the cells in city, that only Mumbai is taking the whole 2 spaces of this and this row, and just it is printed once. So what I'm going to do is, I want to span multiple rows. So what I'm going to do here is, I am going to use where it is the first time written is in Prasad, right? On this column, I am going to tell row span of 2 rows, and I'm going to remove this extra part where it is coming. So now you can see, right, we have used the merge cell function, basically which you use in Excel in this HTML, and I have combined the 2 cells, and now the data of the 2 cells is same. So have you guys understood the row span part? Like we have combined 2 cells which contain the same data to give the same meaning, right? Div will understand, okay, do not go ahead. I'll tell you when it is used. Currently I'm not using it, so do not ask doubts which I'm not using right now. I'll come to there eventually, right? So similarly, if I want to see, this is the row span. If I want to span in this way, in the columns part, I have something called as call span. Okay, I have something called as call span. So I'll just show you this, how it works. Well, so I don't have the data appropriate to it, but I'll just show you. And what I'll have to do is, I'll have to remove this age for a minute. So if you see, right, I have removed the age from this to just show you how call span works. We have combined the column, you can say, of Prasad, which says that take 2 columns, the age, name and the age column, and the remaining part, right, use it for city. But again, we are spanning the city row to 2 rows. That's the reason we have not put city in Sandesh, right? It might be a bit tricky. Okay, I'll write it in comments for you guys. Okay, so till here, are you guys with me? Okay, span value over. Just making more readable. So are you guys clear to this? Are you guys clear till this? So serial number 1 and serial 5 same city. So is there somewhere in the example? See, it has to be consecutive. Okay, I cannot do Mumbai if it was Mumbai in 1 and on 3, I cannot combine them. Where will the second thing go? Okay, if you are spanning, it has to be consecutive. So please make sure that you are putting in that way. If it is spanning, it has to be consecutive. So is this clear, guys? Is this clear? See, there are a few more things which you can go and search about tables. There is caption, there is heading, everything is there, right? So you can just do a research on it, and if you don't understand, on the last day, if we get time after the project, I'll cover, or maybe in the next sessions we will look at that, right? Can we go quickly ahead, right? So this is basically the table. So I'm just telling you basics of table. We have to put more emphasis on CSS when we use tables with CSS. Clear? Right. So let's go and see forms. Okay. So let's understand why forms are used. Okay. So suppose I am going on any website and I have to take user input. Okay. I have to collect data from the user, right? The only way I can use it in using forms. The only way I can get data using forms. Now, how it works is a user fills the form, the data is collected, it is sent over a server to do the checking, basically a login page, right? Wherever you go login, it's a form page, you fill the details, you submit it. On that action, right, on that submit action or that login or sign up action, the data whichever you have filled goes to that particular, you can say, I'll show you what is that particular thing. It goes there, it gets processed, and accordingly the actions are taken, right? So let's see how to create forms. So any queries before that? I guess nobody has queries, right? All clear till tables, right, guys? Everything clear till tables? Are we clear till table, guys? Can we learn day 1 to day 5 80% of HTML? See, I'm going to cover everything. Okay, so see, today is the last day of HTML, so I'm trying to cover everything of HTML. Just see, I'm telling I'll not be able to cover everything, but we want to focus more on CSS. We want to create something like this. Okay, it's logged out. I'll show you the project what we're going to build. So tomorrow, maybe today end, right, we'll stretch a little. I'll start off with CSS, and tomorrow we'll start off with CSS and building the website. Okay, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and 3 days, next 3 days is going to be pure CSS. Okay, so today we will complete HTML, right? So now let's see form tags, right? So similarly, let's understand the structure first. To create a form, first of all, we need something called as a form tag. So let me just write forms. And as always, I am going to use a HR tag or horizontal rule so that we have that differentiation. Okay, what did I use here? Did I do? Okay, that is something I told you not to use, and I use the same, right? So similarly, the first thing we need to use is a form tag, right? Now, if you see, right, there is something called as action. Action basically tells where you want to send this data. Action basically tells where you want to send this data. So if you just hover, right, it will tell that it can be a server URL, it can be your APIs where you want to go and hit the data, right? So this is mods. There is some query of attendance not working, please check it, right? So action basically tells the program, right, basically the page, that where you want to go with the data on an action. It can be a submit button, it can be something like login, whatever you name it. Basically a submit action is taken and the data goes there. And there is one more thing, one attribute, that is method. Method basically tells what type of method is, right? So there are multiple ways of, like, multiple method. There is get, there is post, there is put, delete, update, right? So here you can put the, you can say, the method. By default it is a get method. Okay, if you do not put anything, it is a get method. So currently we do not need all those because we are not going to API calls and everything. So again, in action, I'm not going to put anything. Now, how do we create a input field? To create an input field, it is simple, right? Let's create a tag called as input, and we have to tell it what type of, you can say, text, what type of input it is. So I have to tell it, like, I have to take text input. So I am going to tell it is of type text. So I've just written input type text, and you can see that my box is ready right here. Okay, so are you guys with me till here? We have created our first input, you can say, text input, you can say, tag, and that is the only, like, where, see, there is no closing tag because there is nothing between two tags. Okay guys, there is nothing between two tags, so you do not need a closing tag for this as well, right? Are we clear? Are we clear till here? Right? Great. So similarly, input type text. Now suppose I want one more, see, this is where, suppose I am taking my user's name. Okay, now there's one more field where I want to take input type email. So there is one more box, but how do I differentiate what is what box, like what is the meaning of each box? Okay, where I have to put name, where I have to put email, and all those things. So there has to be a way how I can, you know, tell the user that, boss, this, here you have to put your emails, here you have to put your name. So one way to do this, one way to do is just write something like put a span tag and tell enter name, and after, like, just, this is something, I'll tell you the correct way again, but this is something just to for now. And after this, give a br tag, so it goes down. Okay, and again the same thing. Enter email. So now you are able to make out that, boss, the first row is enter name, the second row is enter email. So are we clear till here? So I'll just have a sip of water, so you can just put the comment, sorry, anything in the chat if you are not understood. See, tables, you can just go back and revise. The lecture is live, so you can go back and revise. The video is already there. You can use a p tag. I'm just using a span tag. You can use any tag there, right? So are we clear till here? Right? So now let's create, now suppose, see, I don't want to write like this. I want this enter name to be inside this. Okay, so there is some attribute called as placeholder, and here I will tell enter name, and if you see, now it is inside this, so I can basically remove this part. So I'm just going to comment. So now it looks like this, enter name. Okay, so now it looks like this. Similarly, let's do it for email as well very quickly. So let's do enter email, and now it looks like this. I know both are too close to each other. So currently this is just for example. Okay, I'm not creating the best form here. This is just for example to make you understand. Okay, so now if you see, right, and let's create a few more things. Now this is one more way, but there is one, you can say, one more way how you can write, and that is something we can say I suggest, and this is that is how I also write, you can say, forms. That is using the label tag. Okay, so now let's understand what is a label tag. Okay, label tag basically tells that this is a label for this particular, suppose this is a label tag, this is the input. So this is a table, sorry, this is a label which tells that I am linked to this input tag. Now there is a way how you can tell this. Let me again show you example. Okay, I think you will get confused. Suppose this is a label and this is a tag. Label means nothing but a text. Okay, labels means nothing but a text. This tells that, boss, I am basically linked to this particular input field, but there is something which links the two things, that is Okay, my laptop is hanging, just a minute. Okay, there's something that links the two things, that is an ID. Okay, a ID given to that particular thing tells that boss, this label is this for that particular, you can say, unique tag. Now for this I need to teach you what is class and ID. Okay, ID for now, let's understand that ID is a unique identifier of that particular element. Okay, like you guys are in college, right? So every student will have one unique ID. ID of a student does not repeat, so every student will have a unique ID. Even if there are lack of students, if there are millions of students, every student will have a unique ID. Okay, so make sure that you understand that ID is the thing that links the label and the input tag. So currently we are going to use, I'm just going to comment all of this and use the label format to create this. So guys, now just focus. Okay, now just focus what we are going to write. Okay, so first I'm going to structure the whole tag for you. So let's understand. First I'm writing label and I'm going to write enter name. Just watch what I am doing. Okay, just watch what I am doing. I'll tell you how to link the both things as well. So input type text. So now we have a blank, you can say we have a blank form, blank input field. Okay, so now let's make it more readable. So now this is enter, and now let's link these two, right? Let link these two things. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to give an ID. I am going to give an ID to this input tag. So what is that ID? This basically contains the name. This ID contains the name of the user who is going to input. Now how do I tell the label tag that boss, you have to link yourself with this particular field, because there might be many fields, right? There was email, there was name, there might be phone number, there can be address. How do I tell the label tag is with the ID? So I will tell that this label is for an ID which is with name. So in label, the attribute is for, and in the input type the ID is basically the way how it is linked. So is this clear? Is this clear? I want to see if you guys have understood this. Is this clear? Okay, I'm just waiting for you to say yes that you have understood this, right? Great, thank you for understanding this, right? So now this is one more attribute. So one more attribute I want to tell is something called as name. So when you submit a form, right? When you submit a form, I'll show you how you submit a form. So let's create a submit button. Input type submit. Okay, so I'm just going to write Prasad and I'm going to hit submit. So let's see what happened here. I'm just going to put this. Okay, it went, I guess. Let's try to get that particular thing which got sent by the, I want to show you how it works. Just give me a minute. See, currently data is, let me try adding the name part. I think this should work. Right, if you see right now, right, in this URL, okay, if you see in this URL, right, the data needs an identifier. Like, okay, I am going to send whatever comes in that field, right? I am going to send whatever comes with this field right here on this submit, but what do I link it with? how do I tell, like when the data goes, right, it is basically a key and pair value, right? So how do I tell is that it is a name thing. So let me write it in small. Do not confuse with this name and this name. That is the ID. This is the name of how the data, like the key of that value, which is going to go with that input field. So similarly, if I create something like this, so let's create quickly for email as well. So label for email. Okay, I am going to write enter email, and then I am going to have input type as email, ID email again, because we have this as email. Okay, so see, whatever you write here, right? So if I write here f email, this has to be f email. This and this has to, you can say, match. Okay, this label for and ID in the input has to match. Okay, and then this should be name, should be email, right? So let's put a br tag, and again a br tag, and let's also take some, you can say, password. So I'm just taking, this is a basic form. We'll create a better form in CSS. I want to see if there's a CSS page we can create with okay, do not focus on the layout right now. I know it's just plain HTML. I'll rectify it when we go to CSS. Okay, just I'm not looking to the chats. I know a lot of chats are coming. Just give me a minute. I'm just writing this code. Right. So now let's see. Let's try filling the data. So I'm going to write Prasad. Email, I am going to write prasad@gmail.com, and password we 123456789, right? Now I'm going to just go and hit submit, and you can see, right, the whole data should be here. I'm just going to copy it and paste it here for you guys to see. I just copied the URL, and if you see, right, this Prasad, like how did it send this data was name equals Prasad, email equals prasad@gmail.com. That is how you write @ in URL encoding, and password equal to 123456789. So this was the data which was sent to this particular, you can say, path, right? So this was the set, like you can say, let's try to put login. Okay, let's try to put login here and see how it works. We're just going to autofill. Okay, and submit. So you see, right, it basically changed the part to /login of my particular, because I just put /login, and then it sent this parameters to put in the password, right? Is this clear? Is this much clear how the data goes? Right, of course, this is the bad way to send data. Okay, this is not how you send data directly. You first take it in, you can say, JavaScript and send via into servers, right? Because if you send like this, the data is easily accessible on your URL. Okay. See, delete and strike tag, all those are, you can say, you can do research on your own. Okay, that is something we are not going to use at all also. Right? You can see, just Google out, you'll get the difference. Okay. Because I of course cannot cover all the things. Similarly, I said delete and strike. Delete might give you extra importance on that, this is deleted text or something. It's basically an importance and visual effects. Basically with B and strong, it's the same. I and EM, it's the same, right? Label for identifies that this is the label for that input tag. Okay, it basically links it. Right, see, you can use one label tag for many elements also, and it is also used by screen readers. So when you, again, like, see, we are trying to code the best effective way, the efficient way, right? So use label tag because even the screen readers use it. So when if you want to try, right, make a form with just p tag and put a screen reader, and make a tag with label and put a screen reader. So anyone who is not able to, even see, can use it. So there are, see, you can, this small things, right, you can also just see on Google and you will get it. So there are few good ways of practicing, right? So that is what I'm trying to teach you here. So if, see, suppose, see, even if this is blank, right, I am able to submit my data, which should not be the case. So what I'll do is I'll mark this field as required. So these are attributes which tell that, boss, this field is required. Before filling this field, I should not be allowed to submit this form, and it will give me an error that, boss, please fill out this field. Okay, sorry. Similarly, in by default HTML, right, there are a few things like I cannot write 1 2 3 4 5 6 here and password again and just put submit, because it will tell me that this is the wrong format of email. Okay, this is not the right format of email, and that is why it is not allowing me to submit. Why? Because we have given the type as email. Similarly, if I am writing password, right, see, it is not visible. So similarly, there are a lot of input types, okay, a lot of input types, which is a homework for today. You guys have to go and search all the input types. There is color, there is date, there is file upload, all those things. You guys have to go and see what all input types are available. These are the few things which I've shown you, but there is a lot of input types which you can of course see by yourself for your reference. This are, I guess, most the prominently used ones. And one more thing is there, that is input type number. So I'll also do that. Let me just copy paste here quickly. Right, if you see right here, I have something called as a slide, basically a button which basically goes ahead and you can set a min and max. Okay, you can set a min and max value that before it cannot go beyond, below that it cannot go beyond that. So there is something called as min, it can be like 18. So suppose you are checking for if I put 17 and hit submit, let's see what is the error it gives. See, the value must be greater or equal to 17, because I have put the requirement that, boss, this should have a minimum of 80, and similarly it can be maximum of 21. So min and max is there, right? So there are a lot of attributes again which you can of course Google. I'll give all the links in the Notion, right? So for those guys who are joining for the first time, we are following a Notion board, okay, where all the resources I'll put down after today's session. Whatever I'm saying, right, I'll give you links for resources. You can just go and read it through there. Shortcut key for commenting a line is control and forward slash. Control and forward slash is the shortcut key for, can say, commenting the page. So clear? Not HTML for, just for, not HTML for. Okay, this is not React or Angular, just for, not HTML for. So are we clear till here, guys? So we just have video and maps. Right? So there is no option to mark attendance. Just go using the link below and you should be able to see that. Okay, so now let's see how to put videos. Okay, so for videos, can anyone tell me how do you put videos? Anyone here who has tried this using videos? I will teach, of course, but anyone who knows that? For that we need a video file, of course. So let's try downloading something. Let me see if I have something downloaded. Nope, let's download something. So meanwhile you can tell me if you know. Laptop is slow for some reason, I don't know why today. So let's get this video. Okay, so let's get this video. I know. I just need to get a few. I just need to get a video. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Whew. Okay, I'm downloading the worst resolution right now just for the example purpose. Okay, you can have the HD element and all those things. Now what's the issue? Can anyone okay, we have the video. Okay, we have the video. Let's go now. Sorry for that delay. Okay, now let's understand how to create a video. Okay, how to basically put video in your page. Now again, let's structure. Okay, let's structure. So now the first thing we need for a video is, okay, any comments till then? Yes, we can do that. I'll show you very quickly. Right, so today we'll extend a bit till 7:45 something. We want to close, you can say, HTML, and I want you to be introduced to CSS so that you can go and experiment yourself, right? So just bear with me today so that, see, our end goal, I'll show you at the end, right, what you're going to build in HTML CSS. Right, so just take along today. So again, let's structure the tag first. So to create a video, right, we need a video tag, right? So let's again, similarly, which we did earlier, put a HR tag about this and an h3 tag which says video. Okay, that looks odd. So an h2 tag which says video, and now let's have a video tag. Okay, now see, by default I have just written two things, video and a closing tag, right? So now first we need to tell that boss, where is my video going to come from? So for that we have something called as a source tag. Okay, something as a source tag. Now this is just a self closing tag. There is no start and end tag to source tag because we are going to write it in attribute. So it can be an src, right? So now here we are going to give the source. So what was our source? Let's see if we have the file in our browser. It is video playback.html.mp4, right? So video playback.mp4, video playback.mp4. Make sure you're using the correct extension. And so now see, the video is available here. Okay, now let's give it a width and height. Let's give it a width and height, right? So I'm going to give a width of, can basically say 400. Okay, I'm not going to give both the things. Okay, I'm not going to mess it up. I'm just going to give one thing, that is you can say width, right? So now your video is here. Now you might be having the question, boss, why it is not working, right? Because by default the Chrome browser says that you cannot autoplay the video on the browser. If you are uploading it or you're loading in this way, you cannot autoplay, right? By default, if you want to autoplay it, you have to give something, an attribute called as an autoplay, right? Are we clear? By default the Chrome browser will not autoplay an video, right? Once you give autoplay, you see that our video is now playing. Is this clear? Right? So if you guys want to also play the video with it being muted, so I'm just going to quickly add a muted tag, muted attribute, which will play the video but in a muted mode, so that it is not, you can say, messing up with our teaching part, right? So now you will be asking question, boss, where is the controls, right? How can I control where can I stop, where can I pause and play? So I have to just give one more tag, which is controls. and it will just add the controls to my videos. Right now I have all the controls to my videos. Are we clear till here? Are we clear, guys? Everyone? Right, so far all clear, guys? Very easy. Right, great. So now you see you can use multiple things here. You can also use a video directly, a URL, right? So the thing we use, right, instead of this I can put a URL directly, and let's see if this works. Should work basically. It is giving some error, so it will not work. There's some way to do this. Okay, it is hanged. I don't know why. Let me just refresh it. YouTube will not allow directly. Okay, there is a way to embed YouTube video. Sorry, my bad. You should have a local file here for this. Okay, so now see, this is the way you can do it. One thing. Okay, yeah, how can I do it direct on YouTube? So it is very tough, guys. It is very tough. So we are going to see how tough it is, and I'm going to go make it very easy for you guys. By default, it is very tough to put YouTube videos on your website. Okay, right? So now we are going to see how to do that. So let's go on to the below section and create a HR tag. Let's simplify what is hard, right? It is very hard for us. So I'm just going to write H2 and video. Okay, so to learn how to get YouTube videos, I'm going to go in full screen in this and show you a few steps which you need to do, okay, to get the YouTube video. Make sure you guys focusing on this. Okay, you might miss it out and it might seem very tough for you guys, right? Just find the video which you want. So let's me see. This is my own video. So let's take this panchayat video. Okay, let's take this panchayat video, and now let's try to put this on a website, right? How do we do that? Click on the share button. First step is click on the share button, right? Second thing is click on the embed button. You get this code, hit on this copy button, go to your code, paste it as it is in your code, and the video is on your website. Okay, very tough, right? Guys, very tough, right? Right? So that's how hard it is to get a YouTube video on your website. Okay? Right? So right? So that is how you can get a YouTube video on your website, right? Just yeah, very tough, right? Just go on the video, right? Just go on, hit on share button, go on embed. You can change the settings if you want to start here and there, right? And just copy the code and put it here, right? So the last step today is to put how to get Google Maps. Okay, how to get Google Maps. So again, very tough. Similarly, how we did with the maps, it is again very tough. So again, focus everyone, right? Don't curse me, guys. Okay, I just wanted to build some curiosity in you. So again, the first thing we'll go is go to maps. Okay, now we'll go to maps and I'll just type Paris. This is my location. You can find me anywhere in this. Okay, it's a whole area, right? So now let's see again, okay, how to get maps on your, you can say, on your code. Okay, again, very hard. Click on share button, click on embed button, select a size of map. Okay, is it a small map? Is it a medium map? We are going to go with medium. Copy this, go to your code, paste it. Okay, I didn't copy it well. Paste it, save it, go to your website, and your map is here. Okay, let me just get a small map. This is way too big. No, wait. Yes. Right? Clear, guys? Are we clear till here? Just give me a confirmation that tables, forms, maps, video is clear for you guys. Just give me a confirmation if you guys have understood that we can go ahead. Like, this is basically the base of HTML. Now we are going to move forward and get a quick intro to CSS. And before that, a few HTML tags which we have left out, that is div, section, nav and all those things. Right? Easy, right? Form में upload file बता दो. Wait a minute, okay. So there's one request how to use file. See, again very tough. So what I'm going to do is just let's copy this code and create it again. Right? So suppose I am collecting resume. Of a particular user. I'm just going to name it this. So guys, if we extend till 8 today, is it okay with you, so that I can tell you a bit tips and tricks, and also we can close HTML today itself, so you can start creating projects from tomorrow. So let me know in the chat if you guys are okay till 8 PM today. I'll not stretch it beyond 8. I promise you guys. Great. So see, to create a file upload, right? What we need to do is, so where was my form? To create a file upload, what I need to do is, just let me comment this out. What I need to do is, here, instead of number, right? Instead of this, upload file, I'll write. So instead of input type this, I have to just do it a file. Okay. Now this is it. That's it. And I just need to open this, and it will open the file explorer for me. And whatever file I select, right? Whatever file I select will be uploaded here. So that's the easiest way how you can do that. Okay. Audio file, see, audio file is very easy. I'll just show you. So what I'm going to do is just copy this code. Just do this. Audio. Here is your audio. That's the easiest way I can show you audio and video, guys. I just converted the video file into an audio using this. Right? Clear? Is this clear? So see, there is more tags, more attributes in this, so you can go and Google those out. Okay, for some reason, for time constraints, I will not be able to teach you a lot in this essentials, right? Great. So now, any other queries, right? So what we are going to do is, now we are going to focus on something called as semantic tags. Okay. Now you can say semantic tags basically means that a tag with a meaning. Okay, tag with a meaning is semantic tags, the div. Now see, this is basically all the tags available, but we are going to containerize those tags. We are going to divide those in sections meaningful to that web page, right? So see, there are a few tags which do not have a meaning, and there are a few tags which have a meaning. Suppose like in our code, right, this video tag has a meaning which tells that boss, this tag will contain a video, right? Audio tag tells that boss, this is going to contain an audio, right? But there are a few tags which I told, right, it does not have any meaning. That is span tag. It says that boss, like without anything attached to me, I do not have any meaning, right? So similarly, those tags with a meaning are called semantic tags. Those tags without meaning are called as normal tags, right? So now there are a few tags which you guys need to understand. So let me just create a new page. A lot of pages right now, so let's create a folder day 1. I'm just going to put this in this, and a lot of things will break, so also this should go in here and video should go in here. So we close this, and here I am going to create day 2. So you guys who are following, right, you know that day 2 is not just that, but also it is covered in day 2, is in day 1 also, index.html. and the basic format, let's do basic formats. Okay, just ignore what it is, and so sorry. So I have to go in day 2 and into index.html. So see, I'm just going to cover the basic semantic tags. See, whatever I'm teaching, right, it is enough to use for a website. If you want to master HTML, you can just go to W3 schools. 100, you can say almost 400 tags are there which you can just go and read, and if you want you can memorize, which you won't be able to. That is the reason I'm not teaching you all the things. Whatever I've taught, you can build a website with that, right? So are we clear? Are we clear till this? Right? So let's understand, right, the website is divided into a few sections, right? So suppose we just go to Google, right? Let's understand this. So this Google, right, has a few sections. This above sections can be a navigation bar, right? So let's go in this page, or for example our page, which I'm opening right now here. So I go to LetsUpgrade.in. So let's also understand it from the perspective of the project which we are going to create by the next 3 days. Okay, where did this go? Weird. That was weird. So let's take a look at the project which we are going to create in the, okay, I again closed it, no. Right, so the project which we are going to create looks something like this. So let me go into my programs page, and I have logged out. See, resumes I have given the name. Okay, resumes I have given the name. You can write anything, you can collect anything. That is something just for the example purpose I have given. So right, so let's see. This is the page which we are going to create, right? This is the page. Let's understand this page with the context of semantic tags, right? So now this page has a few sections. If you see, right, let's scroll it once, and you see that there is a section on the top. Okay, there is a section on the top right here. Okay, so where is the ruler? Just to you guys, just to tell you, okay, this section on the top, right, basically tells that this is a navigation bar. Okay, this section on the top is a navigation bar which contains all the navigation items, right? So this can be represent something with a nav tag. So I'm just going to write the tags as I'm explaining you. We are going to see how we write those in code later. Okay, so just when I'm explaining, we're just going to write those in the HTML file for now. Okay, so we saw what is a nav tag. So this is the way how you section those elements. Whatever relating to a navigation you can put here, right? Whether you want to link, those all goes into this particular thing, navigation, right? Now there is, see, now your website may have multiple sections, and for that, like this, suppose for us, this can be one section. While we are going to code, right, this one part can be one section. So for that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another section, right? So let's go and add another section to our website. So in this, I am going to, after that, after navigation bar, what do we have is something called a section, and section basically means just a section on the web page. Okay, so that's basically the definition. If you just hover it, you will see it basically means a grouping of the content and just a normal section. It can have any content which you want to put there, right? And it basically contains the heading. So currently what my heading here is with this is this part, HTML CSS essentials, right? So there I am creating a section for that particular thing. Are we clear till here, guys? Now let's suppose there is some independent thing right here, right? Let us suppose something right there, like, which is independent and which has a meaning of its own. Okay, which has a meaning of its own, and you can put that thing into an article page, right? Something which has a meaning of its own, you can put it in the article page. What happened? So we put it on the you can say article sorry for that, guys, that was a bit distraction, right? So you put that on an article content. So basically my mods are here to tell me that we have another session, so please wrap it up quickly, right? So next 3-4 minutes we are going to end this, right? So I am using my Omen laptop for coding. So right, so this can be another section which can be an article, which is a self-contained. Basically you can put blogs, you can put forums, you can put anything you want to write, right? Content here which has independent meaning. So that is the correct way of writing. So I'm just going to write it for now. So something called as an article, right? If you hover, it says that an article represents a complete self-contained document which has its own meaning. It can be reused again and again, right? Are we clear till here? So you can nest anything and anywhere, and something where, like, see, when you have, you can say your header, like let's suppose you have this something called as header. This basically goes into heading section, right? The reason I said you can nest is because this forms the header of your website. Okay, and something where if you go to the bottom, this forms the footer of your website. So you can basically put the navigation bar into a header section. Okay, basically you can put the navigation bar into a header section, and it is basically how you want to use it, right? There is no correct way. You can just make sure that you are, I'll tell you how to verify your pages also. So let's suppose I am putting this into header section, that my header contains my nav. Okay, here you can put your logos and all those stuff here, and at the end, as we saw, I am going to put a footer, right? So this is it. This is, you can say, the base, you can say the elements which you should know. Nav we have shown. Aside is there where you have some content which is like a sidebar, right? If you have some sidebar, you can put it in aside part. Currently I'm not using it. Just for your reference, I can tell you that there is something called as aside. You can just hover over and see the information that represents a section which consists of content that is tangibly related apart from this content which is there, like suggested videos. I guess we have something like that and we can put it there. So these things, right? Suggested classes. We'll try to create related programs, right? We can try to create this in aside section. So is it, and see, there are a lot of other semantic elements, like here we use a lot, right? In our previous code, right? Form, table, list, those were semantic elements which told that what type of elements those are, right? So are we clear till here? Any doubt? So that's where I guess we can end HTML. Tomorrow, come fresh, we will start with CSS. Yes, we can make accordion without HTML, we can say without JS, and I'll show you that towards the end of the tomorrow's lecture, maybe, or just at the start of the tomorrow's lecture. If you guys are on time, 6:30 we'll see how to create accordion with HTML and without using JS, right? Any queries, because I have an deadline to end the session. So any queries, right? So did you so okay, so I guess everything is clear, guys. Everything is clear. So let me just go back to this. So I guess everything is clear, right? All clear. So can we guys meet tomorrow? For reasons I cannot continue, there is one more class at 8 p.m. and I want you guys to also attend that. So I'll meet you guys tomorrow. We are going to start CSS. Be on time, get your friends. See, today I just saw a lot of less audience than yesterday. I want to see more than 200 students tomorrow. So if possible, right, get your friends along. We're going to create amazing things starting tomorrow itself. So we'll start building the project tomorrow section by sections. So we'll divide what day we will build what, and we'll build it accordingly. Sorry. Right. So div is not a semantic tag. Div does not have meaning by its own. So it is not a semantic tag. Right. So thank you guys, and thank you for joining. I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I hope you like the session. If you like this session, please hit the like button, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe and get your friends along and help us keep this doing more and more, right? So just show your love by clicking on the like button if you liked it, right? 138 viewers and 84 likes, make it reach above 100, and I'll see you guys tomorrow 6:30, and with that I'll be signing off. Bye bye, take care.